talking trendy topics. Interviews with who got motion, we gon' get it poppin'. Just show me stay, we here to stay, nothing they can do about it. Everything 100.
Welcome back to The Fix, right here on 100.3, the TheFixSTL's hip-hop and R&B original station for hip-hop and R&B. If you just joining us, man, we promised you we got Michelle Tucker, a woman doing real work in the city. Obviously, powerhouse in St. Louis, president and CEO of United Way of Greater St. Louis. Just to give y'all a little backstory, she was recently named Nonprofit Executive of the Year by St. Louis American Foundation, and she also received Community Service Award from the Etta Boulay. Mrs. Michelle Tucker in the building. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
That's wonderful. So let's just jump right into it. Let's just kick things off for those who are unfamiliar. What's the core mission of the United Way?
Well, we're a resource for the community. We've been in place for 103 years, and we are out there helping people live their best possible lives. And one of the things that we focus on is basic needs. So we're helping with food, shelter, transportation, things like that, and then long-term needs like education and workforce development.
Okay, so tell us, in the wake of the tornado's destruction that has hit the city, and what did stepping into action look like for United Way, and how did you lead with empathy, especially with these communities being impacted?
Well, first of all, this was devastation like none of us have ever seen before in our lifetimes. One of the things that we did was jump right in with our 211 support system. And that is a hotline that anybody can call and reach out to for help with like shelter. And think about the storm. Some of the immediate needs were people could not access their homes after the tornadoes. And so they needed some supports around shelters, hotels, thinking about the fact that electricity was not accessible. And so we had to make sure that, they had access to food and things like that. And so when we jumped right in, we were within hours of the storm, we were in motion. We were also making sure that we were collecting what we call spontaneous volunteer information, which is a way to stage volunteers so that they can get in and help as quickly as possible when it's safe.
So speaking of people wanting to get in and help, how can people support? How can they get involved?
Well, first they can go to stlvolunteer.org, stlvolunteer.org. It is a resource for the community. It's where we have our regional volunteer center. And so far during the recovery, we've had about 4,000 signups, and we've deployed people across the area to help. And we have about 1,900 or so that are in the staging queue, and so they're ready to be deployed into opportunities.
Wow. Michelle Tucker, she kicking it with us right here on The Fix. Keep your ears locked. We got more when we come back. Welcome back to The Fix. We still kicking it with Michelle Tucker, president and CEO of the United Way. So, Ms. Tucker, I just want to ask, so when you look at this crisis and, things that's happening, you've led through the calm and the crisis, what do St. Louis need most to truly move forward?
Well, as it relates to this storm, I will tell you that one of the other things that we did, I talked about, quickly jumping into motion with the 211 hotline and with mobilizing volunteers. But, one of the other things we did, and it was absolutely necessary, was we stood up a storm relief fund. And I will tell you that, we've had about 4,000 to 5,000 properties and people impacted by this storm. It will take dollars and donations to help to resource, agencies like the Red Cross, Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, the Urban League, all a part of the United Way extended family when it comes to community organizations active in disaster. They call it the COAD. So mobilizing just those resources in those agencies. So we're going to need people to go to helpingpeople.org to make donations.
Okay.
And speaking of resources, like in your experience, what does true collaboration looks like, especially tensions are high right now and also resources are thin? So what does that look like?
Well, it's every organization and every person working together for, to move the needle in a positive direction, but towards a common goal. And that's really restoring the community. And, I said earlier, togetherness, that is something that we should call our superpower because, we can get so much done if we work together and not go all off on separate missions, right? And, when you say, what does collaboration look like? I would say drive around the community right now and take a picture and you will see it. And that is the best example. I am seeing people come together like never before.
So in leading this initiative, just this whole everything that's happening, I know you've been with United Way for 6 years, and that 6 years you've also had to fight through COVID, something else like this natural disaster that we've never experienced as people. How has leading this organization in two unprecedented national natural events affected your leadership journey?
That's a great question, Raven. And let me just thank you for being a former part of the United Way family. You were there when I was there, when I first got there, actually. And, as far as my leadership, I would say I try to be steady and focused no matter what. And I think that, leveraging the expertise of partners around us and my teammates and harnessing that power to help to inform what are the next steps, even if it's something we've never seen before. You want to rely on, the strong arms, right? The strong foundation that you have. But I would say to anyone, you have to take it day by day and attack it as you see it, and really just take a thoughtful approach to each day.
There it is. We got Michelle Tucker in the building. We got more when we come back. It's The Fix. If you just joining us, we still kicking it with Michelle Tucker right here on 100.3 The Beat, STL's original station for hip hop and R&B. So I just gotta ask. I mean, obviously, you heavily involved in things that's happening in the community. But one thing I guess I would like to ask, like, what's exciting plans or initiatives that's on the horizon for the United Way?
Well, you know what? Right now, what we're focused on is storm relief. But I will tell you that every day, all day, we at United Way are focused on helping people. And so what's coming and what's on the horizon, trying to get people engaged during our fall campaign that's coming up. And so that's something we host every year. We are hopeful that we can raise as many dollars as possible to help to support a network of about 160 nonprofit agencies that are a part of that extended United Way family. And so I'm going to ask that people go to helpingpeople.org to learn more about how they can engage on a daily basis in what we do. Right now, I want to thank people for showing up big time during the disaster relief efforts. And I want to encourage them to go to stlvolunteer.org to figure out how to continue to jump in or how to jump in to help.
There it is.
All right, now I just want to say, well, thank you and give you your flowers as leading this organization, especially in a time like this. And then also beyond boardrooms and press releases, kind of tell me what is next for Miss Michelle Tucker, whether it be a personal passion or what kind of legacy you would like to leave.
Goodness, that's a great question. And I will tell you that I'm so passionate about the work that we do, and I am completely focused on it. And so it's not like an in the moment. It is a lifelong commitment. And so I will tell you, even if I'm not formally in a role like the one that I'm in, I'm still going to be focused on what we can do to mobilize people and help people across the community. So right now, still focused on United Way, and love that I get to do this. I get to help people every day. So thanks for asking the question, though.
Well, thank you. Powerhouse CEO, President CEO of United Way, Michelle Tucker. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll be
you.
back after this.
Thank you, everybody.
It's The Fix.
Thank you for tuning in to The Fix every Saturday at 7 p.m. Stay connected with us on all platforms. You dig that? At TheFixSTL. And follow your hosts at Nitty Gritty. If you enjoyed today's show, check us out for bonus content, interviews, and exclusive giveaways.